Hello everybody, welcome to a new edition of As the Crow Flies Hiking. This crazy little thing I'm doing called Old Crow Hiking Show, 10 Questions with Crow. So I've got with me Midwest backpacker, Jeremy.
Hey buddy.
How's it going, Jeremy?
You caught me right after going up a big hill, so if I'm breathing hard, you know why.
We just finished, what, a 3/4 of a mile? No, 3/10 of a mile?
5 3/4.
3/4 of a mile hill. And it was a pretty rough one.
No, I'm sorry, just over 3/10.
Okay, 3/10 of a mile. We wanted to sound better.
It was a hill.
It was a hill.
You get it.
So I let him catch his breath, but I wanted to ask him 10 questions that I've been doing, and I want this to be a reoccurring video. So I've been a fan of Midwest Backpacker for a long time. I watch he and Rob Pelton's podcast that they do, and it's hilarious. If you hadn't checked it out, you got to check it out. But they sit around and talk about different things, aspects of backpacking and other things. Really cool.
Yeah.
I got 10 questions for you, Jeremy.
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. First question. How did you get started in backpacking or hiking or all this outdoor stuff?
I first got started, my wife bought me a cheap backpack at a garage sale, and it was sitting in my shed for like 2 years. I had 2 weeks of vacation that I had to use or lose in the middle of June. My wife didn't have any vacation. I didn't have a whole lot of money, so I said, I'm gonna go out and backpack 100 miles on the Spear Hiking Trail.
Oh, nice, okay.
My very first trip, and I took my dog. My backpack weighed over 50 pounds, and I quit after 2 days and about 40 miles.
Okay, but you got started.
Yeah, I did.
Did that give you the bug? Like you wanted to do it after that?
I hate it when I fail at something.
Okay.
So I started watching Shug videos.
Yes, yes.
And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a hammock. I'm gonna go do that again.
Okay. I can tell that about Jeremy is a fast hiker. I can tell he's got a competitive spirit. So you're not gonna quit on that, right? How did you get your trail name?
How to get my trail name?
Almost.
Almost. So first of all, I want to say false summits are a work of Satan. And I was hiking in Colorado, and we kept on going up mountains, and I would say we're almost there, and it'd be a false summit.
Right.
And my buddy Chuck kept on saying he had a formula. If I said we're almost there, we actually had about 2 hours farther more to hike.
False summits, they are a work of Satan. Okay, I love that. So let's talk about your current big three. What is your current big three? I know it depends on kind of the temperatures or whatever, but what is your current big three? Shelter, sleeping bag, and backpack. Okay,
for shelter, I sleep in a Ridge Runner bridge hammock from War Bonnet. I have a Mountain Fly tarp that goes over the top, also from Ridge Runner, or from War Bonnet, where it only has partial doors. My backpack, I just changed from a Z-Packs Arc Haul to a Light AF Curve 40. So it's a little bit smaller, and I really like it so far. They even printed my logo on it. Nice. Really nice pack. Let's see, and sleeping bags or quilts. In a hammock, of course, I use quilts. You have your underquilt and you have your top quilt. Underquilt, I like local Libre products. I have a -20, I have a 20. And on this trip, actually for my top quilt, first time out, I have a UGQ 40-degree top quilt, and I'm really liking it. And how cold did it get last night? Probably 50, 45?
45, I think. 46 on my little gauge, yeah.
And I'm a cold sleeper, where I usually have to have a quilt that's a lot warmer than the temperature, and I was toasty last night.
Yeah, and I think you and Rob got back from a trip where it was -27. That's just the temperatures, not the wind chill?
Yeah, -47 with the wind chill.
Oh my gosh. We don't get that in Alabama, let's just say that. So yeah, you really got to know your temperatures up there.
Yeah, and on that one, I mean, you had to layer quilts, and you know how condensation works in a tent, when it's that cold, I just woke up and it looked like it had snowed on my face from all the condensation freezing.
All right, so my next question is, and I think I know the answer to this, but what is your favorite trail?
My favorite trail, well, the one that I go on the most often is Spear Hiking Trail.
Okay, okay.
But the favorite one that I've ever hiked on is actually doing rim to rim to rim in the Grand Canyon. You did that with Rob? With Rob and with Miyagi and another guy. So, I mean, it was just everywhere you turned, your jaw hit the ground. Just sensory overload. Yeah, just everywhere. Yeah. What is your favorite part of backpacking? Ooh, It's not the body odor, that's for sure.
If we had smell-o-vision right now, it would be pretty rough.
Yeah. My favorite part is actually completing it.
Okay.
Just that sense of accomplishment after you've hiked, you know, whether it be 3 miles or 300 miles. It's just, you know, your legs are tired, you've worked, and you can go get that cheeseburger.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I mean, obviously you enjoy the hike and the beauty, but that part, the end,
yeah,
is the best.
I feel the same way. And it's something about the difference between your professional life and here. Sometimes I can work, and I feel like I've accomplished nothing. But out here, when you're done with the hike, like I've accomplished something, you know, I've got something done.
You know, the other part I like is when you're walking, you know, I tend to overthink things in real life. And when I'm walking, I don't think about anything else. Don't think about work. Don't think about family. I just think about walking.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're not hiking, what do you do for fun?
I go hiking a lot. I don't know. I just like relaxing with the family, and you know, I do a lot of video editing when I'm not. So I don't really have a life. I just backpack.
Just backpack. Hey, that's good enough. What is your least favorite part of backpacking?
My least favorite. Well, there's 2 times, and this will shock a lot of people. Is the night before I go on a backpacking trip. A lot of people are excited they get to go out in the woods, but just like for a minute as I'm falling asleep, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep in my bed tomorrow night. You know, why do I want to go walk 100 miles? But that and waking up in a hammock, especially when it's 27 below out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're laying in there all comfy, and it's like, oh, you know, it's cold, it's raining.
You don't want to get out. Yeah.
And it's funny because as soon as I get out and I'm standing up, it's like, yeah, this is great. But just going from horizontal to vertical is hard.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm the same way. I thought you were going to say when you're anxious the night before that you're having to organize, because you seem very organized.
No,
you do. No, you're good with that.
Yeah. I literally pack and repack like 3 or 4 times before I leave.
Yeah,
just going, did I remember that? Yeah.
All right, real quickly, the last 3 questions, what's your favorite book, movie, and TV show?
Book, movie, and TV show. Honestly, I haven't read a whole lot of books lately. Right now I have the trail guide for the Centennial Trail. Okay. My favorite book series was actually the Vince Flynn.
Oh, yeah.
Where he had a bunch of books, and he's actually up from Minnesota. So books, TV shows, I like a lot of the Alaska reality shows.
Yeah.
Like Mountain Men and Life Below Zero and Gold Rush and those type of things. Movies, I like the movie Hoosiers.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Basketball, and I also, for some reason, I've always liked the movie Erin Brockovich.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a good job with that.
Yeah, just kind of digging into and finding out the truth.
I've been waiting to ask you this because you kind of hinted to me this question yesterday. So I've been anticipating this answer for a while, and that is, what was your scariest moment on trail?
Scariest moment on trail. I'm going to give you 2 quickly. Okay. The first one that you heard a little bit about last night is I was on the spear hiking trail. I had an Ursack food bag, which is supposed to be bear proof. I was at a lookout, tied it around a tree, went and looked at the sunset, came back. Another gal was walking out of my campsite because my campsite had the porta potty in it. Yeah. And she said that there's a bear down there. Okay. Of course, I asked her if the bears scared the crap out of her. But I walked into camp and it was dark, and probably 30 yards away in the woods, I could see with my headlamp the bear looking at me. Two yellow eyes staring at me. No. And I was clapping and trying to make noise, and he was just staring at me. So I picked up my hammock and didn't pack it up, went about 100 yards away and set up at a different campsite, not knowing that the bear had already gotten my Ursack and clawed it and smashed it. I brought that down there with me and camped with some other people. So I was all alone with that bear. Yeah. I went down there, and the bear came down into that group campsite. It followed you? Because I brought its food down there with me.
It had already gotten into it, okay. Yeah.
So the other one quickly was just I was up on spear hiking trail in March, slipped on some ice when I was solo backpacking and got like a compound fracture in my wrist.
Are you serious? You broke it?
Yeah, and I'm kind of squeamish, so I saw it, doing one of these things and
doing the U-turn.
Yeah, so I was adrenaline is a wonderful thing, and walked a couple miles back to my car and drove to the hospital.
Ouch! Now that is a real injury on the trail.
Yeah.
My last question for Midwest Backpacker is, if you had to give some advice for people getting started in backpacking or new on backpacking, what would you tell them to do?
Sure, and I've heard other people say this on your channel, but start slow. Just go out there with what you got, but don't do like I did and think be too cocky and say I'm going to do 100 miles.
Yeah.
Go out for an overnight. Go 3 or 4 miles. You'll see what gear you need to buy and slowly start buying better gear.
That's a good point. All right, well, thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for doing this questionnaire. Appreciate y'all watching. I hope you'll check out Midwest Backpacker's channel. We will see you next time on the next episode of As the Crow Flies Hiking.
Peace.